Hey, I'm Jeff.
I'm Rob.
Bart.
And thanks for tuning in to the Off-Road Toolbox. Here we are live at the Off-Road Toolbox World Headquarters in Daytona Beach. World Headquarters. We're worldwide. Yes. Now, if you're watching us at our official Jeep Beach page on YouTube. And that, Jeff, is?
At Jeep Beach Official.
That's right. That's right. You got it right. All right. We got to practice that. Now, for those of you who are listening to us, you can see us on that YouTube channel. For those of you watching us on that YouTube channel, you can listen to us on your
favorite place where you get your podcasts.
Favorite podcast platform. So, again, thanks for tuning in. You guys ready for the show?
Always, man.
Yep.
We're doing it.
It's now time for another episode of the Off-Road Toolbox. A Jeepers guide to everything off-road. Powered by Best Price Trailers.
Hey, welcome back to another episode of the Off-Road Toolbox. That's Bart over there.
Hello.
And I'm Jeff. And behind the old screen there, we got producer Rob. Trying to keep us in check.
Yeah, trying to. And
he's been trying for almost 2 years now, and he can't do it yet.
Yeah, it's working. Well, I'm getting there. You guys are being trained pretty good. I get the whip cracking once in a while.
I never know what I'm going to say, so it's all right.
So we're still traveling.
We are.
Now, last time we traveled from
Daytona to Alaska.
And now we're going from Texas
to Argentina.
The southern tip of Argentina.
Yes. Deep south. What do you think of that, Bart?
Road trip. Yep. It's going to be interesting because all the places you're going to go, the things you got to do to prepare, things you didn't even think about preparing for.
And I've only scratched the surface, but at least can give you an idea. To start off, we're 12 to 15,000 miles to go from Texas to South Argentina.
That's a road trip.
That's a long time.
Yes, it is. And it's 3 to 6 months, depending on whether.
You get stopped in Mexico or not for a while? Spend time in the Mexico jail?
Who knows?
You don't know. You know how
that's scary.
That's the whole thing is going down there. It would be fun, but it's like, I don't know.
If you can get out of Juarez without getting in trouble, you're lucky.
Yeah.
Yes.
Good luck with that. You better have some money on you.
That or don't
lots of money.
Go to any shows.
Don't go any shows.
Don't go to any adult shows.
Stay out. Just stay out of the cities if you can. Hit the outskirts of the cities, but
have you ever been to Juarez?
Mm-hmm.
Interesting place. Mm-hmm. Interesting place.
Is that where Puerto Vallarta is?
No.
Okay.
Nope. That's further south.
Okay.
Nope.
Yeah. We been there.
Yep.
You got stories?
Yeah.
You probably can't share those stories. Okay, then that's not.
Mine were PG because I behaved.
I didn't.
I did.
You get in trouble with any of the law that's down there or other?
Three bad guys tried to rob us, and I was there with a girl that I was dating and her son.
And what happened? They tried.
Yeah.
Are you like?
I was good. I was in good shape then. I was in good shape. I was in very, very good shape then.
So what'd you do?
Bada bing, bada boom.
Really? All three of them?
All three of them, yeah.
No kidding.
Yeah.
No kidding.
Yep. That's not my first time. I mean, So, yeah. It happened another time, believe it or not, Newport, Rhode Island, of all places. Somebody tried to, in both cases, they're trying to snatch the purse from the female.
Right.
So they tried to cut the guy off. So if you're walking, again, good visuals, I look in reflections off a glass as we're walking, and I can see the people setting up, and I'm like, oh, this is too funny. So if you can stop their freight train, you're going to throw them off, and especially when they get into motion. So,
in other words, just like Mike Tyson said, everybody's got a plan until you get hit in the face.
And that was like they weren't expecting it. Yeah. I just set the pickup, put her in front of me behind her little son, and yes, and it was real quick, and they ran off, and we moved to a safer location.
Yeah.
Yeah.
South Dakota, Montana. We got there. Somewhere in the States, America.
Miami one time, back in the heyday of Miami, some guys tried to rob us, and that was pretty funny. Oh, yeah, there were shots fired on that one. Yeah.
Man, you've got stories.
It's just, we weren't expecting it. We pulled off the wrong exit, and I'm like, hey, guys, it was a couple of us were going diving. And we had our wives.
Cuba?
No, we're outside of Liberty City.
Opelika area.
And we're talking in
let's put it this way.
1980s.
When I was building Go Fast boats, we had to go through Opelika.
Yep.
When I went through at 5 o'clock in the morning, I had to drive old granny style because they were shooting.
Yes.
You would hear gunshots and then you hear it.
So we had a exfil get out, we moved and got out and went up a couple blocks, and then we pull up, and then we're all off-duty cops. So we go up to the Miami guys. I'm like, hey, did you guys just hear that? Like, yeah. And they're like, did you guys hit anybody? And I'm like, I don't know. They're like, so we gave them our business cards. I said, hey, it happens. Just come and contact us. But it was legit. And like, what happened? I'm like, they tried to roll the tire in front of us. I'm like, yeah, they tried rolling the tire when I was pulling a boat. So, and that's when they get out and they try to jack. Yeah.
Yep.
So you pew.
The follow-up team that was following us, again, our other partners, yeah, they broke out.
Oh, wow.
They broke out, and they had no problems.
So we're going right to Mexico, and we're heading right back home. So that was a quick show, guys.
No. I mean, you can go a lot of places, but you just
got to be aware
of your surroundings,
of everything that's going on around you, because if you're not, you would end up with people coming behind you, like you were saying,
surrounding you, flanking you, traffic stops. You actually, even there, they have problems with if you got a U.S. plate on your car, they're stopping you for a tag light. Like it's working. No, it's not.
Yeah.
You need to give me $100 or $50.
Yep, and that's the. Unfortunately, that's the way things happen down there. So,
not all the time.
No. Corruption is there. Corruption's everywhere.
Yes.
I don't care if it's America, Canada, who knows. But
yes,
it is what it is, and you just have to be aware.
Yes.
Border crossings, you're going to cross at usually El Paso is where they like to have you go forward.
Yep.
You'll need a passport. You can get at the border what they call an FMM, which is a Mexican tourist card. Also a temporary import permit for your vehicle, because you'll have to have that. So
I got to stop you right here. Before we even get there, I would say, are your shots up to date?
Ooh, good point.
I mean, do you have all your shots? Do you know where to look? So do you look at the CDC site or the DOS, Department of State site? So you want to look at, again, they'll tell you actually, the Department of State will tell you the bad areas to stay out of, and they're pretty current. The shot records you're going to need, I would do that. I would also look at, if I have to get out of there, that extra medical insurance, like that Global Rescue or something
Global Rescue insurance is well worth it. It is very expensive. Also, too, is have cash with you, because if something happens, you will not be able to get out of the country without paying your bill first.
What happens if you don't speak Spanish?
Translator on my phone.
I was just going to say that's it. But when we're looking at our notes, because I've wrote a whole bunch of notes, that's what I covered as a translator. Your cell phone plans that'll work. Now, Mexico, most of our plans work in Mexico.
Yes.
But as we go further south, either if you're not paying international rates, you might have to get SIM cards or something like that.
Very possible.
What about the international driving permit?
I would say yes.
And where do you get it here?
AAA.
AAA does for a $20 fee.
$20.
And funny story, I'll give you a good one. We're traveling overseas. And for whatever reason, a buddy told me to get it. And we're some of our assignments, we're Americans. Certain things would draw extra attention. So we had regular passports, regular things. And so we got there, and the host country held us up until somebody had an international driving permit.
I could see that happening.
And even though we're on embassy duty and embassy details, so
doesn't matter.
So I had one, so then the other two guys had so out of the whole team, 3 of us ended up having them, and the 3 of us could drive, and we're supposedly the only ones that could drive. But once we got past
get around the corner, switch.
That's all we, so again, that's something to think about. And that's some of the regulations and rules, like insurance, like all the things you got to carry before you even go on your trip. Make sure you have all those things.
Have it all set in place and ready to go. That way you don't worry about anything.
I would say get a list of all the embassies and all the countries you're visiting and have their phone numbers. And some of those have where you can check in and say, hey, I'm cutting through the country and here's where I'm checking in. And when you leave that country,
you call them
and check out, or even online, check out. And then when you go to the next one.
Yeah.
I would just say that's just wise to do. It's like your float plan.
It's exactly what it is. It's just on land. That's all it is. Documents required, of course, your passport, your vehicle insurance, tip for each country. They want a little bit of money as you go through.
That's believe me, wherever you go.
Wherever you go, any border that you're going to cross for a country, that's going to be happening.
Yes.
You're going to see places like Colombia. You're going to go through Ecuador. You're going to go through Peru. You're going to hit Chile. And then eventually you're going to end up in Argentina. Buenos Aires, the Andes Mountains. Laws and regulations, visas and entry requirements for each place is different. Most Central and South America countries allow U.S. citizens free entry for 30 to 90 days.
I like where you put enough blank pages for your passport.
Oh, yeah, because each page gets a stamp.
Yes.
And if it's double stamped on some of it, then it raises red flags with them and causes issues.
So if you don't know this, you can get extra pages sewn into your passport at your embassy ahead of time.
Yes.
I had to do that. I did as a lesson learned. Like, hey, one of the guys in the team goes, hey, everybody just pull out your passport and check. I'm like, hey, they're like, hey, Daytona, you're getting close to bingo here. I'm like, what? And so actually we're in an embassy detail. So we went right over and we dropped it off in the morning, did our stuff, and then by the afternoon they had the passport all taken care of, and that's an important thing, and not necessarily so much for us, but those other countries.
Exactly. Vehicle registration. You need your title, your registration, notarized authorization if the vehicle is not in your name.
True.
Because some people have the wife's vehicle.
Okay.
That's one of those things that does come up. Customs, be aware of import restrictions. We were talked about that in the last episode that, if you're carrying a pew-pew or something like that, you better make sure that you can carry it through the country. If not, guess what? You're going into a hardcore jail.
It's real different. If you haven't seen foreign prisons, you don't want to see them. TV or these movies, I'm just telling you, they don't do them justice.
There are actual documentaries of Mexican jails. Do look at it.
Yes.
That'll make you say, okay, yeah. Do research your tip cost and duration for each country. Each border will have a unique customs requirement, so take your woosah with you.
Yeah, but your fruit is actually a big one. They're really big on, because they don't want fruit coming from some areas because they may have a disease or contamination or a bug or something.
Well, it's like the orange groves here got hit by the canker.
Yep.
So it's a big thing. That's what they make their money off of, and they live off of it. Once, Bart had said, health and safety, you want your vaccinations, you want like yellow fever, hepatitis A, B, typhoid, tetanus, are highly recommended.
What about, I would check again with your CDC and your State Department for places that have outbreaks of malaria.
Yeah.
So then are you going to want to get malaria drug, the prophylactic drugs?
Right.
Guys, I got to stop you right here.
Okay.
You don't make this sound like a fun time.
Oh, to me, it's a ball. I'm like, this is mission planning.
The thing is once you get this, like you said, get the mission planned,
right?
It's all downhill from there because you got your process in line.
Okay.
You may have a little hiccup here or there, but you're not walking in blindly going, oh, well, I didn't know that.
And that's what we're here to tell you. It's like buying a Jeep. You buy a Jeep and like, oh, yeah. And then next thing you know is I want to do all these accessories and add-ons. And then people don't tell you, like, if you do this lift and big tires and everything else, you're going to have to change your gears. Well,
exactly.
Nobody told me I had to change.
Nobody told that.
But we have. And this isn't that. I guess I take it for granted that everybody should know how to do this. And we don't. And they don't. Obviously, a great point. But it's not. Don't be afraid of it. I would just say plan your trip. And there's so many neat
like
trips.
I said, it'll take a year to actually sit down and do everything that we're kind of talking about. And you're going to look for all the little minute things so that you don't miss anything. And you're still going to end up missing something.
But hopefully you can adjust. You can just get through it. I agree.
Also, think about water purification system for remote areas because you are going to be traveling in remote areas.
And don't always believe the bottled water is safely bottled.
No, especially overseas.
Overseas.
No.
Again, this does not sound fun. Go ahead.
You just got to live. This is cool to me.
Right. And now, the last one we did, going up to
Alaska.
Yeah, going up to Alaska. That sounds like a fun time.
That's not so much entailed. Because you're only going through Canada and then back into the States again.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's not a big deal.
No.
Now we're talking about three different territories of country.
Well, yeah.
Well,
North America,
I guess
South America.
You're talking about bribe money. Extra money. That's a flag is raised. I'm like, I love Jeeping, but yeah, okay.
But if you stay out of the major metropolitans, you won't have to deal with that.
Malaria.
But you just take the meds.
I hear you. Okay.
Just bring plenty of toilet paper. That's all right.
It's a pill.
Okay.
Actually, that's a good thing. Carry plenty of toilet paper.
There you go.
Yep. Wow. Water purification. Again, the Grail system. If you have a way of, and actually in that type of trip, you'd have a bigger system so you could process more water.
Exactly.
So then it's not a big deal.
Not a big deal. So vehicle prep, you're going to do your mechanical, tires, brakes, suspension, spare parts, like belts, plugs, wires, maybe a coil pack or two.
Yep.
That kind of stuff. How are you going to do it is with your equipment on your Jeep, you're going to want some type of roof rack. That way you got extra storage.
Yes.
Extra fuel tanks, your camping gear, navigational tools, the map and GPS, so you know kind of where you're at.
Yes. So,
here he goes.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm looking at this, and I don't see anywhere on here where it says a will.
Wow, you're not dying.
Malaria, bribe money,
malaria,
jails.
There's plenty of people get malaria and live with it. Okay. So let me go back. We did the show. The road chose me.
Yep.
And Greg did this from Alaska all the way by himself in a TJ.
That's great.
That was awesome.
Good for that dude.
I'm not serious. That was so awesome by himself.
And that was just recently.
Yes. And that was pretty cool. I mean, that's very inspirational, the way he did it, the way he handled everything. He talks about these things. And
now I would like to interview this guy just to ask him. I mean,
too bad sometimes we couldn't get Jeep Beach to bring him into Jeep.
It'd be great I'd just like to ask him. Okay, he might want to talk. Probably wouldn't want to talk about this on the record, but just ask him what happened. What did you need?
He talked about when he was in Africa, all the bribes and issues he had in Africa.
There
he was
really
pretty
bad.
outspoken about it. Yeah, and he went through Africa half the time with himself, and the other half with his
fiance.
Yes,
at the time.
At the time, yeah, and that's pretty gutsy too.
Yes,
very gutsy. So okay, we have our essential tools.
Yep, you want your essential tools that you're going to carry with you, even if you're in the States.
Yep.
Personal supplies, we already covered. Passport, emergency supplies, first aid kit.
Yep.
Satellite phone. We talked about Starlink.
Starlink.
It's well worth it. It's cheap. It's a good way to be able to communicate if need be.
You can get meds at their pharmacy there. You can walk in and tell them what your illness is without having a doctor. You can get a lot of meds, which you can't do here.
No.
But you could also bring those contingency kits like Jace or these other companies that have all the meds.
Oh, without a doubt. Local currency for each country.
Good point.
Yeah.
SIMS card for your phone if you're going to these different countries so you can operate cell phones.
Right. Now, once you get to Darling Gap, you're going to have a container shipping service set up in advance.
Good point. Yes.
Because you ain't going to cross through there.
But you need to make sure if you're going to put it in a container, your vehicle will fit in a container.
Yes.
And then if it's not going to fit in a container, is it going to be on one of the ships where they drive on and drive off?
Correct.
Roll on, roll off. Yep. But yeah.
Order tips, be polite and patient with the custom officials. You get nasty with them, guess what? They're going to get nasty with you.
Yes.
Throw you in the old gray bar hotel.
Yes.
Have all documents organized and ready to go. Photocopies are okay.
And actually, photocopies, not only of your documents, but everything you carry in your wallet, the front and back of everything you carry in your wallet, whether your ID cards, your credit cards, all that stuff. So in the event...
Front and back,
because there's information on the front. The phone numbers and other numbers are on the front and the back. So if you lose it or you actually go swimming or you do something, get pickpocketed, at least you have something to get things back with. And you can call all those places to say, hey, my credit card got stolen or I lost it, and they can stop it before.
Yeah, exactly. 2 is don't be afraid to use a local guide for difficult boulders if necessary.
Oh, they have facilitators.
Yep,
facilitators. That's a good idea. That's actually really smart. We use the facilitators a lot, and it really smoothed the process out of getting us through things.
Because they knew that they were going to check to make sure everything was on the up and up.
Yeah, they would. Yeah, you go to them, you bring everything, they double check all your documents, and then they bring you to your cousin or their uncle or Tito, and then they get you through. But it's still, I would do that. Yes, I think that's a really good idea.
Without a doubt. So budget you're going to want to figure about $3,000 to $5,000 for fuel.
Bring your glass jar to put the fuel in first.
To make sure there's
no water
in
or
it.
other stuff in it. Just
Yes.
lesson learned.
Insurance, you're going to figure $5,000 to $1,000 for multi-country coverage. Shipping through the Darling Gap is anywhere from $1,000 to $2,000, depending on how it goes. Food and lodging, $5,000 to $10,000, depending on the style.
Yeah.
The style. You're camping versus a hotel.
Or sometimes you'll go in the compounds.
Yes.
And they're for protection. So you go in areas that, you pull into there. And usually you travel in the daytime and you get off the road at night.
It's kind of like a camping
Yes.
place.
Yes.
But it's protected.
Yes. Yes.
Your visas, your permits, and fees, you're talking $500 to $1,000.
You're talking about $20,000 to do something like this, more likely.
Right.
$15,000 to $20,000.
You're only going to do it once in your lifetime.
This is a once-in-a-lifetime trip.
Right.
This is a bucket list.
Mm-hmm.
Avoid driving at night. Look for your road conditions and security for each reason. Like Bart said, use the secure areas.
Watch out for rainy seasons and storm seasons.
Oh yeah, because you could flash anything down there.
Yes. Just little heads up. Yeah.
Let's see. I think we've covered just about everything as far as getting the vehicle ready.
You talk about vehicles, but when the road chose me, he picked the Jeep because there's so many Jeeps worldwide that parts were readily accessible.
Right.
And if not, Rock Auto can actually ships international.
Yes.
So they can get things there fairly quick.
So I think that's the basics of getting through Mexico down to the south, unless you can think of something else.
So what are you going to do when you get down to the southern tip of Argentina?
We got to fly back.
Oh, no.
Vehicle.
They have the ships that go to the Antarctic.
Oh, I forgot about that.
You could actually park there and do the 5 to 7 day cruise on the cruise ship that goes to Antarctica.
So hang on a second. So we're just talking about getting down there is 15 to 20 grand, not coming back.
Yeah, we haven't. No.
So it's double that then. It could cost you.
No, you're going to sell your vehicle and have a nice day.
Oh, okay. You sell the vehicle down there.
Fly back, or
fly
again,
back,
if you want to drive it back, or ship it back.
Ship it back.
Okay.
You're going to probably $5,000 to ship it back to the States.
Okay.
There's something to think about.
Oh yeah.
I mean, what the heck? I mean,
hey, if you can do it.
Honestly, if I was younger,
yes.
I would do it.
Yeah, when I first came back from Iraq and I had boatloads of money, I should have done it then. And before I got injured, before I had all my injuries. That would have been a cool trip.
Yeah.
A really cool trip.
Even just going across America is going to be a cool trip at this point.
I've done that a couple times.
I haven't.
Oh, you haven't? Mm. Oh, I've done it as a kid, and I've done it as an
drop into
adult.
spots, but that's as far.
Oh, no, I've actually driven from Massachusetts all the way around to California, up and over and back. And then here, as an adult, I've gone back and forth from California and stuff back. In my Jeep.
Nice.
In my Jeep.
No kidding.
Yeah, because you were training.
Because you're training.
Oh, no. I had my first Jeep, and I was going.
The first one.
The CJ7.
Wow,
CJ7.
Wow.
It's all good stuff.
You guys, that's why we do this show.
We have fun
I mean,
with
I
it.
think I've made it to, I don't think I've made it to the other side of Florida much.
No, you came from New York. Didn't you drive down from New York?
I drove down with a moving van and towing a car behind me. I had a Jeep then.
So, again, even here, taking these road trips to like Charleston or North Carolina to the Outer Banks or all these great places, I mean, just take the side roads, the back roads, and just enjoy.
Well, even here in Florida, there's the FAT.
Yes.
Florida
Adventure Trail.
Adventure Trail.
Yeah.
I'm going to reach out to him. I want to get him on here.
Okay.
If not, see if they're going to come to Jeep Beach.
True.
And maybe do an interview there.
Because aren't we having some special guests maybe coming to Jeep Beach?
I hope so. I think so.
I think there's some.
We had talked about that. That was discussed with us. So
Yeah. So we'll see how that plays
We'll
out.
see who shows up.
all right.
So you got anything for us?
I do.
Uh-oh.
I mean, I got to open it up again. So we're going to make fun of me. Oh, I got it. I'm good.
Oh,
I'm
wow.
good.
That was
I'm good.
quick.
Yes.
Hey, you see that idiot?
What the hell are you doing?
What are you doing?
What you think you're doing, you stupid idiot?
It's the Off-Road Toolbox Tool of the Day.
Are you some kind of moron?
Let's see if I can do this without turning it off again.
Oh, there's a FedEx truck in the sand. What is a FedEx truck doing on the beach?
He was at lunchtime.
Is that what it was?
I don't know
Probably.
what it is, but this is pretty funny.
Had to be.
You know, I don't. You're going to go down and drive the beach and look at the girls in your FedEx truck and you get
In a
stuck.
FedEx truck.
And he got stuck. And he had to get.
You just lost it.
Oh, yeah.
Again, this photo you can see on, and all of this information, by the way,
Yeah.
will be on the Off-Road Toolbox.
Yeah.
Pictures, and this information that we're talking about here
I'm going to start working.
will be on the Off-Road Toolbox
Maybe
Facebook
somebody
page.
needed Jeep parts. Maybe it was delivering Jeep parts. I don't know.
It's just somebody on the beach.
Now, at the Outer Banks, I've often wondered it because at the Outer Banks, you need 4-wheel drive to the houses out there. There's no paved roads. Everybody lives on. So I was wondering how you must have a collection box someplace in town to get your Amazon, and because I don't think they're going to make.
I don't know. Maybe I'll put an address in and see if they'll deliver something to me.
That'd be, or do they have 4-wheel drive vehicles to do it? That'd be kind of cool job if you're.
I don't know what kind of trucks they're using up there in that part of the country. They could be. They could be different vehicles that have 4-wheel drive.
Yeah.
I mean, I know they have those the ice cream trucks and the food trucks. Some of the ones that go up and down the beach.
Yep.
They're 4-wheel drive.
Yeah.
Yeah, most of them are. But yeah. All right, I guess that's going to wrap this one up for us today.
Hey,
guys.
how did they get out? Did you explain how he got out of the?
Somebody came and pulled him out again. Big truck.
Okay.
Big
truck, and not just a Jeep.
Big truck. And,
No
and
truck.
you're going to do traction boards. You're going to have to dig it all. And it wasn't that bad stuck.
Right.
And it looked like he went down there like, oops, and tried turning around. And
That wasn't gonna happen.
it ain't going to happen.
Too late.
Too late.
All right. Well, he got out. That tool did.
Yeah, he did.
I wonder if he kept his job.
Probably till the picture got put on Facebook.
Yeah, really. Hey,
It's probably
is that
good.
Charlie? Charlie, see you in my office.
All right, guys, we appreciate you all tuning in to us. We look forward to you coming back on the next one. For now,
Thanks,
stay
everybody.
safe out there and be safe.
Thanks.
Bye.
And there you have it. Don't you feel smarter now? We'll drop more knowledge on you soon. Thanks for listening to the Off-Road Toolbox, powered by Best Price Trailers.